In a Fox Carolina follow-up, it's out of Cherokee County. Investigators and the coroner are calling it the worst case of child neglect they've ever seen since being elected to the positions they're in. We stopped by Cherokee County Animal Shelter to talk with the Humane Society. They were out there as SLED served a second search warrant. They seized 30 dogs and cats from that home in Gaffney. It's where those parents and child who died lived.
Now, the case has many layers, but investigators say it all comes back to these two suspects, David Baynard and Bobby Joe Baynard. The couple charged with murder and the death of their 14-year-old daughter, Heather. She was disabled and had a lot of health issues. We were on scene Monday of this week when SLED executed that second search warrant, joined by the Humane Society, who rescued all of those animals.
Here's Fox Carolina's Matt Kaufax.
It was a pretty bad situation, and it was difficult to get the animals. It took several hours.
Cherokee County Humane Society Treasurer Beth Osmond says they were stunned by what they found when the solicitor called their offices to assist in rescuing animals from a home on Camp Ferry Road in Gaffney this week.
They were dehydrated, fearful, hungry, and some definitely needed medical attention.
In all, she says 4 or 5 vehicles transported more than 30 dogs and cats to the Cherokee County Animal Shelter.
Fleas, ticks, parasites, and then other medical conditions.
Osmond says they're still in the process of treating these animals for their various conditions, but says this whole situation is incredibly tragic and has moved her to the point of tears.
An animal needs a clean environment, just like humans. They need food and water every day. They need attention, and they need medical care. This environment wasn't providing that.
The same home these animals were seized from is the subject of a murder investigation. Deputies and the coroner say living conditions inside the home of this couple, David and Bobby Joe Baynard, contributed to the death of this girl, 14-year-old Heather, their daughter. The sheriff says the home where she lived was infested with feces, urine, roaches, maggots, and trash that looked like it had been there for years. Investigators had to wear Tyvek suits when looking for evidence. The coroner says there's more evidence the family didn't seek out medical care for their daughter for possibly more than a year.
In this case, there are a lot of, not just animals, but a lot of people weren't receiving the care that they needed.
Beth says one tiny silver lining here is that these furry friends are all on their way to a full recovery, and they're friendly and will be adoptable.
We were happy to remove those animals and get them to a better place. The fact that they lived the way they did for so long is heartbreaking.
Beth tells me her message is simple. If you see a neighbor who has a lot of animals and it looks like they may be overwhelmed, say something. As far as these animals go, they're not ready for adoption yet, but both the shelter and the Humane Society tell me they will put out a message to the community when the time comes, and they're hopeful people step up. In Cherokee County, I'm Matt Kaufax, Fox Carolina News.
Now, there is no timeline yet on when the animals will be up for adoption because workers need to make sure they are healthy and remain healthy. But once they're ready for a new home, we will definitely let you know on air and inside our free Fox Carolina News.